And here we go. It is time for another sprint zone. Lots of people in the house. It's a nice day. Big crew. Lots of colorful kit out here. And a few people we have not seen in a while, but we'll get to that as they make their appearances. Looking at the screen here, we can see Big Dog, Byron, aka Superman, waiting for us for this 6-4 prospect sprint zone. Got Curtis and Ilka up front who were leading the charge on the last so many miles, getting us warmed up. Done some good work up there, probably more work than I wanted to do, but hey, they can do whatever they want. Making the corner and making certain that we adhere to the rules of engagement, which are we cannot start the contest until everyone is around the corner. So I find myself up front with Jim, and we're trying to keep it slow until we know everyone's around the corner. And it takes a while. And this is one of those things where you can get a lot of whiplash on like some of these big rides like War and Soar or whatever. The guys up front, they probably are not all that self-aware that the mildest acceleration around those corners causes a huge accordion effect. And it just is whiplash. There's a reason that a whip makes the sound at the end of something when you crack it, because it's breaking the speed of sound, although the motion you make isn't, but I digress on that one. So up front here, it's time to get the party started, and there goes Jim making the attack, and I want nothing of this. And we're looking at my 30-second power, and at this time it's probably a good time to thank Byron Besserol for his telemetry on this one, and you'll see why later. So Jim out front getting lots of camera time, making a good gap, and it is way too early for me. And even looking at my power, 30-second 280, instantaneous around 300 at the time, I wanted nothing of this. But here we go, Tony going to the front, gonna chase this down, and we got John out there in the Jumbo Vismo kit, gonna chase this down, and I'm gonna just keep these guys in check, don't want to work too hard. But here comes the train. The big man, the myth, the legend on that climbing bike, Byron. And I know that, well, they're going to get brought back. The question is just like when, how long will we let the carrot dangle? Jamie there showing the guns, looking strong. Tom, haven't seen him in a while, and they both have these very colorful kits there. Very nice, making the peloton look pretty. Curtis there in the red. Ian there in the wind a little bit up there on the right hand. Looks like Marcelo, and looks like Ilka there with the visor on the helmet. Well, I guess that's good. Keeps her eyes sheltered. Lots of pointing out things here, which is good. Nice little echelon and it's smooth. But this might look like a pedestrian pace here, but this was like hard. And maybe I'll spoil it. Oh, you won't be able to see it, but I believe Byron sent me a text that said this was his like second fastest time up this thing, and I looked at mine. It was my third fastest time up this thing. Current speed 32 miles an hour for me, 31 up front. A little GPS discrepancy, 31, 32, which is really fast during this section. We are throwing it down. Byron up front, 30-second power, 370 something. Instantaneous power. He's 600 watts there. No wonder I was straining to stay on there. Tony being brought back. Jim, thank you for your service getting the party started there. But with the kind of effort that we're putting out here, I'll be really surprised if they are able to stay in contention for very long. Tom looking strong. And you can see everybody is strung out and scrambling while the selection is being made. And there are some of the heads of state up here. JC, who was kind enough to give me his power last week. Yeah, I probably should have asked for it again this week. Don't want to burden him too much. And it looks like it is JC at the front. And you can see the look on Tom's face, the exhale, the show of aspiration. No, it looks like it's Justin up front throwing it down. And this is a hard group to do anything in up near the pointy end of the stick. Honestly, I was just barely hanging on here. There's a little bit of debris, nice bunny hop by Byron. JC takes over, and I'm impressed. If anybody does any turn at the front, I'm impressed if they can get back in. Justin finding a nice slot there, and you can see the straining of those who are no longer being connected, the elastic just snapping there. And Jamie looking super strong, and she is so tenacious. If that is the one word that someone said, can you describe Jamie? It would be tenacious. She's like always there. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I wanted to drop at this point. I was like, this is hard. And thanks for Byron giving me some respite there. Looks like Steve up at the front doing some work. And rearwards, yeah, the elastic had slapped. It looked like there was, just maybe Tom and Justin back there. Now the thumbs up from JC, me letting him in. And it's always a sign of respect to let the big dogs, the people who are doing the work, stay near the front, or at least go where they want. And if that's in front of me, I am good with that. There we go. And this little climb is always hard. This little place is going to cause a second bit of selection, as it looks like people have clawed their way back into the group. Looking at my power, 440 watts for that one. 30-second power over 300. That had to cost a little snap there. And yeah, those people who were able to use some of the draft to get back in, 2 words, bye-bye. Curtis looking strong rolling through up here, and now the big engines up at the front, and I find myself in the unfortunate spot of being third. Okay, it's a great spot for the camera, but the draft, I was like working hard, and looking at my power compared to Byron's, Byron's 350, 30 seconds, mine 300, and then instantaneous, he was pushing 4, but look, he's like 50 watts above me. I would hope that I would have better draft than this. But I am working like really hard. And you can see carnage being strewn all over the place, or collateral damage, or whatever you want to call it. JC going to the front. And both these gentlemen are extremely aero. And I'm going to use that as an excuse for why I'm not getting super good draft there. I mean, I'm getting good draft, but not great draft. So let's look at what we got. Byron, 30-second power, just maybe 20 watts above mine. He's 230, I'm like 207. Look at that, how close that is. Me being third wheel, not that much efficiency. Or I'm gonna just chalk it up to the fact that both these two gentlemen, JC, the big man, the legend, along with Byron, are able to ride super efficiently. And now things hot up. Over 500 watts for Byron. I can only imagine what JC was putting out up there. Byron going for this little push over the heel, and this is where I have to say my favorite 2 words in Spanish, my unfortunate words, and that is no mas. Hoping and praying that I'd be able to sag back on this one, but no. Mr. Mellinger, the strong man, just taking it easy back there. He looks so comfortable just sitting in while the crew goes away, and I'm now stuck in no man's land. Heart rate 171 now. Like, I was working hard. For a 63-year-old man, I'm working hard. But I'm happy to have made the selection where I was. And a lot of it's like luck. You get yourself a spot in the echelon, and it's a lot easier for those people that I noticed back there that were not. But that's why you take the risk to be up near the front, to have the opportunity to be in the spot of luck. Because if you are unlucky, and you might be strong, and we notice I'm not calling the big man's name out, the legend Matthew Michaels did not make too much of an appearance in this one due to the fact that he was unlucky. And of course he was training for a race that just came up the weekend after this, so I'm certain that there were orders from his coach. And people are chasing me now. At this point, I look back and I'm like, I don't think they're going to catch me. But I'll keep up an honest wattage. So like my 30-second wattage, it looks like 230 or so. Instantaneous in the ones. I'm just like, I don't want them to catch me. And this is the art of metering your power, judging your effort, so that you are able to cross that line. And for me, it is the crest of the hill, which for me, that's where all the sprint zones properly end. And we're waiting. 20 miles an hour, and you see that the peloton is shut down up there. I guess I didn't really pay much attention, and it would have been nice if Scott were around to have his finishing camera to see what actually went down up there. I'm going to say Byron took that one, but one never knows. Rearward once again, and the gentlemen are coming to get me. They are trying to come to get me, but we're right there, close to the hill, right there. I put on a little bit of a search, and then I coast, and I'm like, yes, I held them off. And there is some, talk of congratulations for my effort. And these are strong men back here. These are strong men that did not make the cut. Anyway, enough of my rambling. I would just like to say a good time was had by all. Until next time, let's see, turnaround point. Looks like, yep, that looked like that might have been Mr. Mellinger and Byron. So maybe, yeah, maybe Todd took that one because he was probably the freshest out of everybody. He may have gone to the front. This camera didn't catch it. And if it wasn't on the camera, what do people say? Did it happen? We don't know. Anyway, oh, there's a legend, Matthew Michaels back there. Strong showing, lots of other strong showings. Yeah, that was a hard one. And like I said, much faster than I thought it was, considering there might have been, there was a little bit of like maybe some assistance in the wind, but not much. And on that note, peace out.